Set against the San Diego skyline, just minutes from beaches, theme parks, and some of San Diego's most iconic destinations, lies a town built on citrus, community, and a spirit all its own. This is Lemon Grove, California. In this town documentary, you'll meet the incredible people who make Lemon Grove extraordinary. We're slicing this town wide open, zest and all, to uncover everything we can. And at the heart of this story waits something unexpected, a giant lemon, bigger than it looks, and by the end, you'll see why it's more than a landmark. It's our time machine into the past.
I love being the mayor of this town. Lemon Grove is a beautiful place to raise your family. I've got 5 kids, and this is the location where I was like, they have everything. They have the sports, they have the food, they have just the feeling of community. I know all my neighbors. I can call them anytime, and that's just rare this day and age.
Lemon Grove is extremely centrally located. You can pretty much get to anywhere in the county within 15 minutes. Get a really close-knit community of very grassroots, volunteer-based, everybody knows everyone type of feel inside of the big city of San Diego. One of the things about Lemon Grove, their city motto is the greatest climate on earth, and I really believe that. You get a nice 72-degree temperature because the gray burns off halfway through the day, so it stays really nice.
When I moved to Lemon Grove, just like so many other people here, I saw the potential of where we lived. There's so many cool things about Lemon Grove that some people don't seem to see. But immediately when I moved in, I was like, this place is dope. It's so beautiful.
Here in Lemon Grove, you're just minutes from the ocean, the mountains, and the heartbeat of San Diego. Yet it feels like a small town all its own. Streets lined with family homes and big backyards. Neighbors who know each other by name. A community proud of its diversity, its parks, its food, and its deep lemon roots. In this film, we'll step into the rhythms of life here, the energy of youth and recreation on the courts and fields, the pride of neighbors working together to shape their city, the beauty of gardens and parks that keep Lemon Grove lush, and the everyday pulse of living here. We'll taste the food, tour some events, and see the spirit that makes this town shine. But what makes Lemon Grove truly unique is how it blends that warm, grassroots spirit with history that changed California, and, in some ways, the nation. To understand where Lemon Grove is today, we'll step back into time. Through the voices of its people, the landmarks that remain, and even a lemon bigger than life itself, we'll journey through the years that shaped this town. In the great state of California, just 9 miles from downtown San Diego, lies a town at the heart of it all. Balboa Park, the world-famous San Diego Zoo. SeaWorld, beaches, and even the airport are only 10 to 15 minutes away. Welcome home to Lemon Grove, California. A community of just over 27,000 people, packed into only 4 square miles. 2 trolley stops connect neighbors to downtown and the rest of East County in minutes. And here, in what's known as the best climate on Earth, the morning haze lifts, the sun breaks through, and the days settle into a perfect 72 degrees almost year-round. And that's just the beginning of what makes Lemon Grove special. Now let's dive into the heart of the community, starting with a little friendly competition on the pickleball courts.
Met a couple of other neighbors online, and it started with me asking whether anyone played pickleball in the area. I had never played pickleball though, and I just took a risk. I saw it online and thought, you know what? I feel like I could get into that game. And so me and a couple other folks from Lemon Grove bought paddles, bought some equipment, and just invited all of everyone they knew, because I was the new guy at the time, invited the neighborhood to come join us to play some pickleball one day on the Lemon Grove Recreation courts, which, by the way, no pickleball courts were there. It was only tennis courts. So we had to set them up ourselves. We were taping the lines. And basically, even though the nets were like broken and there were holes, we just fixed them up so they were good enough and told people we were gonna be out there. And people showed up in force. There was like 20 people who came the first day to our first pickleball club.
We're a really small town, so we don't have a huge rec center like some cities do. So I'd like to do things to improve it so that there's more access to it and more things happening in it. We do offer some really great sports on Saturdays over at the rec center fields. That's just community-based. People that started, a pickleball club, a running club, a basketball club, and a volleyball club. There's even softball there too. So it's really fun, and it's always good to get out there and just find people and connect. And one thing that I love about the people of Lemon Grove is that they're helpful, they're kind, and they tend to do that.
But it's not just about games and courts. In Lemon Grove, fitness itself has become a tool for growth and belonging.
Body by Discipline is a gym, as well as we do a lot of outside services where we take fitness to the community, as well as working with at-risk youth, working with special needs. We do quite a bit with just tailoring towards the community. And we have the same thing that your normal gym would have, like a 24-hour fitness. So, your weight room, your strength training, your cables, and all that's downstairs, and that's hard to see. But once they come in, they do a tour, or we're able to give them kind of that test drive, then they can appreciate it, that, all right, well, it's nice to be able to get your workout and then go about your business. The kids programs are functional fitness. Our goal is to just get them introduced to fitness, getting them moving, trying to get them some form of discipline, structure. We do 4 to 6, 7 to 10 years old, and then 11 to 14-year-olds, our last kids program. And each age group, you start to incorporate more self-defense, a little bit more hands-on, if you will. But in the beginning, it's about making it fun, giving them something to look forward to, and just changing it up different ways. It could be boxing, it could be cardio conditioning, it can be strength training at that age, but this is going to give them a foundation.
And while the courts and gyms keep people moving, another part of Lemon Grove's heartbeat is the street itself, Broadway. Once overlooked, now the focus of a movement to bring the town's main corridor back to life.
The purpose of Revitalize Broadway is to revitalize our Broadway business corridor. Like a lot of cities, things got a little run down and got a little bit older, so we wanted to be able to come in here and help revitalize our community. You start to see some good progress around 5 years. About 10 years, you start to see a changeover.
Our purpose is to revitalize this corridor so that people will come to the street. We want to increase the number of businesses and the foot traffic to those businesses. There are specific things we may do every year, like this year we're looking at putting more decorations up. We're looking at making sure there's better lighting, making sure that the streets themselves look a little better or equivalent on both sides of Broadway. We're interested in having businesses that are going to improve, that are going to add to, enhance our already vibrant Lemon Grove.
As time goes on, of course, things have a way of changing. And so a bunch of us who've lived here for a long time are getting Lemon Grove back to what it used to be and have them spend an evening enjoying our restaurants and an evening and eating out in Lemon Grove. But to do so, you have to work hard at making it, once again, as safe as possible.
So 8 years after they decided to get together and start a club in 1922, well, actually 1921 May, they started looking for property. They started looking for a lot to build a clubhouse. And they found the lot that's now 2810 Main Street. In 1944, they paid off their mortgage and they were able to burn their mortgage in the fire on the Christmas club meeting, just to celebrate that they had built their own clubhouse and they paid off the mortgage free and clear and they own that piece of property.
All of our money that we raise, and we put it back into Lemon Grove community things like a backpack drive and, lots of stuff for kids. We try to really help families because, again, this community has a lot of kids and a lot of families, and, everyone's kind of maybe a little tight on their pocketbook these days. So we try to make 3 things for these kids. And one thing we're doing now is we're restoring our original clubhouse, which was built in 1922. And I just love the beauty of it that we opened them back up in 2022.
So we can give back to schools, any graffiti cleanup, any trash pickup, just keep our community safe and harmonious. You don't know how you can change somebody's life, just by a word or making them feel a certain way. They'll remember that forever. And it's so important to spend time with people, the youth or otherwise, and just strike up a conversation that's rooted in the Forward Club because they want to know community. And that's a part of the reason why they're named the Forward Club, is because we pay it forward and we move forward. And then that highlights the spirit and integrity of our club.
Lemon Grove Happenings started because I wanted to drive more people to our pickleball group at the time. And I noticed that there was this gap online in terms of finding out about what's going on in Lemon Grove. I saw that other people were hosting events in all these different Facebook groups, but it was intermixed with pet loss videos or just commentary about politics. Made it really hard to know what was going on in Lemon Grove. And I was frustrated by it. And I thought, you know what? Let me do this service and try to bring everything together into one place so that if you happen to be like me and wanting to get involved in your neighborhood, you would know where to go to find out what's going on. Because all you need is that one event where you might meet someone else in your neighborhood that you like, that will basically open access to everything else going on in Lemon Grove. Because once you know about one group, then you hear about, the farmer's market because this person's telling you about the farmer's market. And then you might hear about the Seroptimist group, or you might hear about Lemon Grove Forward Club, and all these different groups that are impacting our city. All you need is to get to one to start hearing about everything else. So I thought I'd create that funnel for everyone, because that was what I had wanted at the time and it didn't seem to exist. So I created a social media account to help people see Lemon Grove how I was seeing it, because not everyone did. And I just thought, this place is so cool. There's so many beautiful people here. We're so diverse. We have such rich history. I want to capture this and I want to show it off. So that's kind of part of what led me to do Lemon Grove Happenings as well. Where we live is just, it's just so fun.
The neighborhood is a concept that we developed about 5 years ago during COVID. My husband and I have pastored a church here in this city for 24 years. Had this dream to create a community center where neighbors could come and hang out with neighbors, find their common ground, because we're all 99.9% alike. We just kind of have a vision of revitalizing that whole strip of the old town of Lemon Grove. And it's just kind of our heartbeat, and we love people, and we believe that all people are built for connection, and that's why we're starting this place. We'll do church there on Sundays, but this building is going to be a gift to the city, gift to the neighbors, to a place where they can come and have birthday parties if they want to, or they can premiere videos there. And we're gonna have mugs on the wall where people can write their names on the mug and hang it on the wall and say, I'm a member, I'm a neighbor.
Community isn't just built in buildings. It thrives in the streets, the gardens, and the green spaces we share. And in Lemon Grove, that care for the environment begins with the busy bees.
The origin story of Busy Bees is that I was already working with native plants and growing and giving out native plants into our community. And then I said, okay, I'm going to try doing this with the whole garden pack. Like, here's a small garden that you can make a 5x7 garden with, and I will give you all the plants for free. You turn around and you make a garden. And I, looked for 10 people in the community that were interested in growing this and giving some feedback. And one of the people who volunteered was actually Jules. And Jules' plants all died in their pots because she didn't know what to do or how to put it together.
And we've got this vibrant busy bee garden thing going, which we go out and we fix neighbors' front yards. We help clean it up, and we put in plants that are native to this area.
The cooperative model is that when we go to your house, so if you volunteered for a project and then we say, okay, we're going to nominate you as the next yard, then I meet with the homeowner and we take a look at what their yard looks like, what they want to do. I tell them what can be done. And then from there, we make a decision on what will happen and a decision on what plants are best to be used. The homeowner purchases the plants, and then we come and we bring the free labor. We work about 2.5 hours, and we do like a complete swap out of taking weeds out, doing what we need to. Some yards get mulch, and we put in the native plants throughout the garden. On the work that we do with Busy Bees, we are now officially Pollinator Pathway. Pollinator Pathway is an official organization that is across the United States. However, in California, we are the only community to be listed on this Pollinator Pathway. So that's a really cool first for the state of California.
And we have them at schools and in some of the parks and then in people's homes, and we even have one in a restaurant. So what we're trying to do is increase our butterfly population here and keep our pollinators so we can continue to grow food. We are known for our lemons and our citrus, so we need those pollinators.
I picked up the reins and decided to keep leading a once a week trash pickup or city cleanup. And so we meet at 7 o'clock on Tuesday mornings by the Lemon, 7 a.m. And we have made a commitment to clean the promenade. People will stop us and say, why are you doing this? Or who's doing this? And you're not getting paid to do this. And it inspires them to also help. In fact, I've had turnover in my volunteers over the last 3 years, and most of them now are all just residents who come out and serve. It makes them feel like they're being part of the solution and not just staying home and sitting on their couch and complaining about what they don't like about the city. They see trash, do something about it.
We have a really great pathway that we got grant money. We're not spending a dollar on it. It's all been funded by grants. And it is called the Connect Main Street, which goes right down by where we're at right now.
And the Connect Main Street is going to connect one of our main trolley stops to the other trolley stop with a walking path. And that walking path that they are putting in, the parts that are done, it's like 70-80% native plants, which again is helping us here on our pollinator pathway. But it'll also connect people on a walking path in neighborhoods to our business corridor, to our restaurants, to things like that.
We have parrots that fly over occasionally. They're Mexican parrots. And they'll land in I have a pecan tree in my front yard, and it's so cool to just watch them, kind of talk, and the crows will eat the pecans, and there's just a lot of wildlife happening, and it's really cool to be a part of such a rural community in the suburbs.
Here's where it gets interesting. We're about to see Lemon Grove as it began, traveling back through time. This giant lemon, well, it's our ride. We're going to hop from the present all the way back to 1891 and see how it all started. But first, we've got to figure out how to get this time machine rolling. So stay with us, because we're about to spin through the years.
One of the great things about Lemon Grove, from the standpoint of where it's located, you can pretty much get to anywhere in the county within 15 minutes. So you're 15 minutes away from Naval Base San Diego, 32nd Street. You're about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic, from Coronado Naval Base as well. You're 10 minutes into downtown, and all of the other beaches that you would want to go to, you're about 15 minutes away, 10 minutes to Balboa Park. And it's just, anything that is exciting and whatever's happening in San Diego, you're really right in the heart of it. The hilliness of the neighborhoods, a lot of these places have a view of either, if you're on the west side of town, you're really close to having a view of all of downtown San Diego, the Coronado Bridge, and all the way out to Point Loma. But then on the east side of town, you have a view of Mount Miguel. So it's very picturesque, it's very scenic from pretty much every angle of the town.
San Diego boasts some of the greatest attractions in the United States, and from Lemon Grove, you're just minutes away from it all. Dive into the excitement of SeaWorld, where you can catch the thrill of the dolphin show and get up close with marine life. Then, explore the world-renowned San Diego Zoo, home to an incredible variety of animals from around the globe. And don't miss the architectural marvels of Balboa Park, where historic buildings and stunning gardens transport you to another era. In Lemon Grove, the best of San Diego is right at your fingertips.
When it comes to purchasing a home out here, and something that a lot of San Diegans or people looking for an investment property like about Lemon Grove is the lot sizes. So after World War II, when the land was sold from being lemons and lemon groves to being residential housing, they gave you quite a sizable lot. And that is really something that a lot of people are looking for these days, because they wish to put either an accessory dwelling unit on the property, or they would like to have just a second house completely on some of these properties. You can absolutely do that here.
It's so expensive to try and have your kids buy another place, and I want to live next to my grandbabies. So here in Lemon Grove, you can buy the property and then build accessory dwelling units. And that way you can have multi-generations living on the same property and truly keeping these granny flats, because that's where I'm probably going to end up, and keep families together. And so I think this is a really exciting opportunity for people to invest in our community, and then also for people who already live here to expand their real estate and their wealth.
So we have 5 beautiful parks here in Lemon Grove. One of them has a brand new, it's like a sensory section in the playground and handicap section for the playground, so it's very inclusive.
That new sensory playground sits at the heart of Lemon Grove Park, one of the city's most popular gathering places. Just a few blocks away, Berry Street Park brings its own kind of energy. A stage for concerts, gazebos for family celebrations, and even a dog park for four-legged locals. It's a favorite spot for birthdays, neighborhood get-togethers, and those weekend jumpers that pop up across the lawn. And every Thursday afternoon, the center of it all becomes Treganza Park, home to Lemon Grove's weekly farmers market. From 3:30 to 6:30, you'll find fresh produce, local food, live music, and vendors from across the region. A perfect snapshot of community in motion. Treganza Park also holds a little secret, a thriving community garden just beyond the market, where neighbors grow fruits, vegetables, and flowers side by side. For about $100 a year, gardeners lease their own planter boxes, complete with water, seeds, tools, and hands-on workshops that turn beginners into growers.
When I moved here with my husband in 2001, there was a group of pastors that had gotten together, Catholics, Protestants, evangelicals, and they got together primarily for the reason to organize a crosswalk on Good Friday, where they would carry a cross through the city and pray for the city, and it would bring a lot of the churches together.
So the city puts on the egg extravaganza. It's a super fun time for all the kids to go out and play. And it's not just the egg hunt. They have all kinds of activities for the kids. We had everything from face painting to pictures with the Easter Bunny to Home Depot came out and had like little woodworking workshop out there. So it's a really fun time, and the city does quite a few of those type of events just to make sure that we keep community together. The city is really trying to bring back the events. We would also like to see more parades. We would also like to see more celebration of the sports teams that we have here. We have the Lemon Grove Little League. We have people who participate in the area soccer leagues. We have our little skate park. And so we're really just trying to promote those things.
That same community pride extends beyond the parks, into the kitchens, counters, and storefronts that define daily life in Lemon Grove.
And I came over and there was a notebook paper on the window for sale. I went home and got my husband. He thought I was in a car accident or something. I says, yeah, let's buy it. So we bought it. Been on April Fool's Day. We didn't tell our kids we were buying it. We invited them to come down and we have a sandwich. And they came down with the grandkids and we were making the sandwiches. But we kind of have it set up like going to Grandma's house. Our biggest sandwich is the Godfather. That's ham, salami, pastrami, roast beef, meatball, and sausage, plus all the toppings. But that's a big sandwich.
It's time for a taste of Lemon Grove, a food tour that takes you from your morning cup to your family dinner favorites, one local gem at a time. Start your morning at Lemon Grove Coffee, a cozy corner where locals gather over espresso, their signature breakfast sandwich, 2 eggs, crispy bacon, and melted cheddar on a toasted bagel. Just up the street, Elevated Coffee and Confections takes things higher. Try their gluten-free carrot cake, moist, hand-grated carrots topped with a rich Miyoko cream cheese frosting. It's pure indulgence with a side of artistry. When the weekend comes, head to Family House of Pancakes, a Lemon Grove classic where the portions are as generous as the smiles. Towering stacks of pancakes, hearty omelets, and home-style comfort food keep regulars coming back for decades. As the afternoon settles in, Lido's Italian food serves up timeless comfort. Pizza, pasta, and ribs made from family recipes that have anchored the neighborhood for generations. And for a taste of the coast and Mexico combined, El Cata is the place to go. This family-run restaurant pairs a relaxed, festive atmosphere with a full Mexican menu and a surprising sushi twist. Their signature El Cata Campechana, a mix of cooked and raw shrimp, octopus, tomato, cucumber, and avocado in a chilled house broth. And to top it all off, the dish is crowned with a generous helping of fresh shrimp, adding a perfect final touch to this seafood masterpiece. To end the evening, Lemon Grove Bistro delivers the perfect finale, an elegant dining experience featuring French-inspired favorites like beef bourguignon with garlic parmesan mash, or stuffed Scottish salmon with crab, shrimp, and lemon beurre blanc. What makes Lemon Grove special isn't just the food, it's the drive behind it. Here, local businesses are built on heart, hard work, and a community that believes in lifting each other up.
We want to make sure that everybody gets a really strong start to their business. So one of the things that we're trying to do is pull together grants so that new businesses have a strong foundation. We are also doing and participating in a revolving loan program. So it's really difficult in the first 2 years of operation to get a loan from a traditional lender. So we're working with community partners, the East County Economic Development Council, and other East County cities, and we started a revolving fund. And so they're able to access dollars for their business to launch their businesses and stay strong. Once they make it past those first 2 years, most businesses make it. So that's what we're really trying to do, is make sure that our new entrepreneurs are able to see it through the finish line.
And while new businesses are finding their start, one local landmark has been growing here for more than a century. Hunter's Nursery stands as the oldest continuously family-owned nursery in San Diego County. From small businesses to century-old roots, Lemon Grove's success is measured not just in growth, but in heart. That same dedication carries on to the field, where volunteers, parents, and players come together to keep a hometown tradition alive.
So the Lemon Grove Little League is kind of a big deal. In 2012, we were able to win the national championships.
Just kept getting phone calls and just following the team, like, oh, we won another game, we won another game.
So then you have Hawaii come down, we beat them, then you go to the World Series. We finished number 1 in the United States, number 2 in the world. Then the city of Lemon Grove gave us a parade a week later.
You know what this team has a chance to is, we have a good group of players in Lemon Grove, and it did, and it happened again in 2025. My son's team ended up winning 22 games in a row in order to make it there.
And then we went up to Oakland, we faced this left-handed pitcher from Hawaii, threw like 90 miles an hour.
Competition got harder out there. Then we went 5-0 out there.
Some games I was sick in the morning and I'm like, oh, I gotta go, because I didn't want to miss out on anything. And we were undefeated all the way up until state, where we lost 1 game.
The teams who are more mentally tough and have like a strong bond together, they're usually the ones to make it out.
The time machine has been waiting patiently for this very moment. As it comes to life, we're about to journey through 9 different eras of Lemon Grove history, right back to the year 1891 and the town's very first home. So let's watch the lemon awaken and get ready to step back in time. In 1891, Lemon Grove's story truly began. This was the very first house built in the town, a humble shack put up by Frank Allison. Alongside it, Joseph Allison built an early water flume to bring precious water to the area, laying the groundwork for the citrus industry that would define Lemon Grove. A year later, in 1892, Joseph Allison filed the subdivision map for what would become Lemon Grove. In 1893, the community planted deeper roots with the formation of the Lemon Grove Fruit Growers Association and the establishment of the town's very first school district. Our next stop on this time journey takes us to 1928, the year Lemon Grove really made history with a giant lemon float built for the Festa de San Diego parade. Just a few years later, in 1930, that same lemon was plastered, painted, and transformed into the permanent icon we still know today, the heart of Lemon Grove.
So Treganza, who was an incredible architect, he goes, well, okay, I'll just make this huge lemon. So they made it out of paper mache, and it made it through the parade. His daughter was the first Miss Lemon Grove, sitting on that lemon, and they went downtown, and then after the parade, they came back up and said, well, what should we do with it now? And so there was the same guys that had made the paper mache lemon decided, well, we could put it in town.
And in later years, they took it even further with the lemon car, a cheerful nod to the town's legacy that cruised through parades and even showed up in local commercials. We step back to 1931, when the local community stood up against segregation in schools. Lemon Grove found itself at the heart of a pivotal civil rights moment known as the Lemon Grove Incident.
Someone came up with the idea that these Hispanic children shouldn't be in the same school with the white kids. Spanish families got together and they decided, well, what can we do? So they found a lawyer who would take the case And then it ended up that they won the case, and it was one of the first ones in the country.
Their victory here was a groundbreaking step for equality in education in the United States. By the 1950s, Lemon Grove's citrus era started giving way to a residential boom. Post-World War II, the town transformed into a thriving suburban community, building homes and neighborhoods where lemon groves once stood. In 1977, Lemon Grove takes the big step, officially becoming a city. Voters made it clear, with 68% voting yes to incorporation. In 1997, Lemon Grove turned to its roots, beginning the rescue of its oldest building, the 1897 parsonage. By 1999, that historic landmark had become the Parsonage Museum, preserving a piece of the town's heritage for generations to come. In 2002, Lemon Grove's history took another leap forward as the historic H. Lee House, a Tudor revival gem, found its new home in Tregenza Heritage Park. Carefully moved and lovingly restored, it became a proud piece of the town's living history.
The more people we can get to care about our city, the quicker we're going to be able to turn our city into one that will rival the more famous neighborhoods in San Diego. But I think that Lemon Grove could be a place that people outside of San Diego will want to come visit, and people inside of San Diego will come visit and go to our businesses and spend money here. We can be that. We have the potential, we have the people. We just need more people to come out and share their talents with us. And the more people that do, the farther that we can go.
So as we wrap up our journey through Lemon Grove, one thing is crystal clear. This town is more than just a dot on the map near San Diego. It's a place where community and history intertwine, where a giant lemon isn't just a quirky landmark, but a symbol of the spirit that brings people together. Whether you're looking to start a new business, find a close-knit neighborhood, or just settle into a place that feels like home, Lemon Grove offers a warm welcome. In the end, if you're searching for that perfect blend of Southern California charm, entrepreneurial opportunity, and a community that genuinely cares, you've found it. Welcome to Lemon Grove. We hope you'll come visit and maybe even stay a while.
Oh.